When you begin working on yourself and you begin to notice that you are falling behind, you're falling into your old patterns, and just all the old shit that you said was behind you starts kind of creeping in, seeking into your life now. And I want to tell you that's normal, that's part of the journey. But understand, you keep allowing that to happen. You keep allowing that to take effect in your life. You let it stop you from making the ultimate progress that you were aiming to achieve, that you were working toward achieving. I want to share a couple of things with you to help guide you along your progress and your journey, because I've faced this. I still face this, coincidentally, throughout my times in my journey as someone that does TikTok shop. I don't do it full time, that's a goal, but I want to strive more toward a business that I can control, and that's different talk. But for you and working toward yourself, working to become obviously the best person that you can be, but morally focusing on how can you put yourself in a better position than you were yesterday. And I like to think on that as in, if you're doing just something that's a 1% better, then you can achieve your goals. And a lot of people, it's been mixed 50-50, 60-40, depending on who you ask, that read. I'm gonna recommend reading. I know a lot of people struggle with reading, or like, I didn't read since high school. Me too. I was the exact same person. I actually had a photo of me using a Snapchat filter saying, what's the last thing I'm never gonna do after high school? And it said reading a book. And here I am making a video putting advice as in read a book, to help track you throughout your journey. And one thing that I find to help with that is the book called The Alchemist. The reason why I'm always going to recommend this, especially for people beginning on their journey, because this book is legitimately about the journey. It's about embarking on something that no one is telling you to do, that you find you have that fire, you have that voice inside you that is talking to you and telling you this is meant for you. You are meant for more. You have a vision. Let's work toward it. And I don't know what it is with this book. Some people find it to be like a big success part of their journey, and some people are like, why was this book recommended to me? It makes no sense. I don't understand it. It's just a story of Santiago on a big journey to find his hidden treasure, to realize there was no treasure, but there was. But you got to read the book. My reason and why I'm going to recommend anyone that's starting on their self-improvement journey, working toward themselves, is to read The Alchemist. My reason being is because of The Alchemist speaks on so many topics, so many parts of the journey that I personally love. And right now, and I compare my life to this book, to this day, in how I track my journey to my destination through how Santiago did. You can do this, of course. This is what helps me guide myself through it. So right now, I'm at a point on my journey that's working toward where Santiago is in the tea merchant shop, or no, the crystal glass shop, and how he helps improve it. And in my life right now, that is what I'm at. I've helped the place that I've helped me grow, and I've helped them grow. I've put my time and effort into it. And that's where I find myself in my life, working as in reading The Alchemist book. Always going to recommend this just because it helps you understand the journey, and you read the story of Santiago on his journey to find his hidden treasure, and he hears that voice inside him telling him there's more in his life. With that being said, before I get too in deep with this book, it just helps you understand of working in your mind. It's like spiritual awakening book to help you understand that there's something more in life. And I would recommend this more for like entrepreneurs, people that are driven to do more in their life. I'd always recommend this, but just to help with your journey. And my meaning behind this is because when you read, the point of bringing up a book is to read. And I remember in high school, from that filter, I told myself, mentally telling myself, I'm not going to pick up another book. Books are just a waste of time. They're not worth it. And I I have so many books, and I don't think people take this so seriously in their self-improvement journey. Is when you're going along your journey, I'll explain it this way. I would buy so many books because I was like, oh, this book covers this topic. I'd love to get this book so then I can read it, so that I can absorb it, so I can learn it. But then you get in this loop of like, oh, this book talks about this. I'm working exactly on this right now. And you get the book, maybe you open up, you read a couple of pages, but then you're like, damn, I got so many other books. Let me read those. Let me learn more on those topics. And it depends on the book, of course. So like if you're reading a story-driven book as in The Alchemist to help understand yourself, your journey, and the hardships of the journey, and being able to achieve your success at the end of the journey as you keep pursuing it, of course. Or there's books like this one. I plan on reading this tomorrow, Hooked. It's literally a book about how to build habit-forming products. As an entrepreneur, as myself, I want to create a product that people can enjoy, that they can keep using, and I plan on doing that with a journal. A second piece in this video is journaling. When you're working on yourself, you want to track your days, you want to track where you're going, and this doesn't need to be every single day. You might have a moment where you slip, you might have a moment where I'm not like tapped in, I'm not locked in. Some days happen like that. I'm not going to be this perfect image of telling you need to do it every single day. Yes, it's going to help when you do it every single day because it keeps you on track. It keeps you in line with your goals. All totally up to you and like where you envision yourself, keeping that in mind. So journal your day, journal your tasks, set yourself up for the week, journal your week, set your week up so then you feel successful. Do this on Sundays because Sundays is really the rest day where people kind of unwind. So keep that all in mind. And other thing, hygiene. I know this is really just a brief thing, but I cover this because it's something that I personally care about and I want people to help, because this was something I never had when I was a kid. I never had someone telling me, here, this is what is going to help you in your life. This is what's going to help guide you to work on your skills. This is what's going to help guide you to be able to smell good, dress good, be able to build your skill sets and your knowledge and experience and education to then build yourself to become the individual that you inspire to be. I think on that a lot, and people overlook that a ton along their journey, because I will say this, most people that I've connected with are entrepreneurial, like-minded people that aspire to be a high-driven, high-valued man and woman, but they never had that inspiration like shown in their daily lives of like their parental figures for most, to give like a retrospect. But keep that in mind. You want to be able to show yourself up in the way that you can, to be able to put yourself in those positions of maybe getting in those meetings, getting into that circle, that club, whatever it might be. That's why I have created the Now Experience. It's something to help gather people, to help reinstate themselves to be in the present moment, to work on themselves now instead of aspiring to be who they will be in the future, for then now they can work on themselves to be that right now, to be that perfect high valued individual right then and there, right there, if that makes sense. To work toward yourself to be that high valued person that you can envision. Like, you can see yourself in the next 5, 10, 15 years, and you expect yourself to be a high valued individual, to have lots of money, to have great connections, have great relationships with your family and friends and significant other, and to be able to travel, do everything in this world that you're capable of doing right now, when you take the moment in time to make sure that you're putting in the effort to make sure that happens. I will tell you, I used to be an individual that would play video games every single day. That's another thing with gaming. I do it occasionally, maybe 1 or 2 times a week. That's it, and not long hours. You gotta separate yourself from escaping your own reality, because when you escape your own reality on a constant basis, you lose touch with where you're at in life. And when you are not setting yourself into accomplishing your goals, working toward your goals, whether it's getting a better physique, whether it's working on your mental state and finishing books, reading, working on your goals, or even just to consistently write them down. It all comes down to your efforts and where you're putting them. So keeping that in mind when you're working along yourself to become a high valued individual is to break that habit, to stop working toward as in enjoying the experience of escaping your own reality, because just to face it, that is one thing that I will say will take you off course, will take you away from your vision, that will take you away from your goals. So keeping that in mind whenever you're steadily on a task, working towards something, on your self-improvement journey, working toward yourself to become a high-valued individual, that is something that I always will recommend for people when it comes to a lot of people that I know that like to play video games or use substances, anything that will take them out of their own reality so then their life can be more pleasable or enjoyable, or might help ease maybe like anxiety or something. I know some people that will use substance or like vaping for an example. It's very unfortunate, but it's real. So keeping a buck with you guys, that is it for today's video. Little advice when it comes to working on yourself, working on your becoming a high valued individual. I will say it's something that I'm personally working on myself. I still see myself in the next 5, 10, 15 years of who I want to be, and to understand you got to be that now. You can't be that individual later on in life. You have to be it now to be able to achieve that at a quicker rate, because when you keep envisioning it later, it's not going to happen. It's not going to conceive and be created in your hands when you accomplish it. It's not going to happen down the line. It has to happen now, so then that can happen even sooner than 15 years, 10 years, hell, even maybe 5 years, whatever your goal might be. And another book that I'll recommend, there's another one, but this one I've been kind of tapping into lately, trying to read more, grow my education with knowledge, reading. This is Russ's book. He made this a long time ago. It's called Get Out of Your Way. It's all in your head. Russ. It's a bright ass yellow book for the head. It's pretty simple. But it covers 3 things: delusion, persistence, and gratitude. It's literally about, and I loved how he made this book. This is just a little like fanboy type deal. I love how he made this book. It's about his music, because Russ is a rap artist. His books, each chapter is based on his music and his song. So you'll listen to the song and then you'll read that chapter and understand that's what that song means. It and explains it to where it's not just about him, it's about you, the reader, the listener, the person that is trying to level up and work on their goals, and is something to conspire and understand when you're working toward them. Keeping that all in mind, of course, when you're working on you as a high-end individual, and keeping yourself at that status quo. And another thing is believing in yourself. Don't tell yourself, I know I said that was the end earlier, but I have one more thing for you, is to keep in mind when you're working on yourself, to not, how would I put this? When you're working on yourself, how you talk to yourself. When you say, for an example, we all love materialistic things in our own form of way. For me, I like items, but it's not something that I'm attached to. I could live my life without these items. I mean, this ring, I got this with my girlfriend. It was just a little gift together type deal. This watch, this is my first ever watch. It's not expensive. It's like $180. I wear it for memory of like aspiring to start my journey, and then this was a gift for a birthday. But no, literally materialistic things, phones, watches, I mean, you name it, Corvette, Lamborghini, Porsche, penthouse, whatever it is. I mean, the whole Miami entrepreneurial vision. Not saying don't chase it. We all have our own goals, but when you tell yourself, I'm going to have that Corvette, I'm going to have that Rolex, I'm going to have this, you have to tell yourself you have it now. I know this is weird, it's a little delusional. Stay on track. You have to tell yourself that you have it now, understanding that you're working toward it. And again, let me rephrase this. it's not just for materialistic things. This is for your goals and inspiring yourself and telling yourself to program your mind of who you are and who you're becoming. It's all mental. It's an entire mental game with how you talk to yourself and the way that you communicate with yourself. So for an example is, I have a goal and I want to help pay off my sister's debt. She just recently had her own kid, and I want to help ease that debt. I want to help take care of that debt. And the way to do that is to keep myself locked in, programmed, visioning, and listening to myself, tell myself that I am this high valued individual, that I am this individual that works hard for my money, that works smart for my money, that has the time to be able to share, but also understanding that makes his time the most valuable. He does not waste his time. His time is on a clock. All he can hear and see is a clock. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll even listen to my watch. I'll literally have my watch next to my ear. I even have a little pocket watch that like you push a button and it pops open and you can like look at it, and it has a little chain that you put on your waist. I have that on my bed, so I can. It's weird, I know, but like, just listening to the clock tick, time is moving. You have to move with the time. You have to move with the clock, because if you're not, you're wasting time. Your life is not wasting, because I don't want anyone to feel like their life is wasted, they've lost potential, but essentially you are losing potential with the time, because time is short. Life is short is what I mean. Life is short. And we're not always guaranteed a full 100 years of our life. Some people even live longer than 100 years. But we're not always guaranteed that. So, but there's your video for the day. If you would like to join the community, it is in my bio it should be my Beacon/Cavalier Inc. bio. It should be. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but there'll be a link regardless. You'll find it. We have our premium space for members, but if you'd like to join the community for free, that will be in the bio, but it is like $7 to join premium. We have this space opened up. I've just kind of introduced it, and it's entry price. This is the cheapest you'll ever find it be, so get it before I do increase the price, like 20 bucks. It might do 30 depending on, but that's later down the road after that. So, but anyway, if you'd like to join. If you want to join for free, I'd appreciate that. The community is ever growing. So other than that, yeah, peace out.